The Joplin Outlaws were supposed to wrap up their series with the Texarkana Rhinos today, but Mother Nature had other plans. This is the view from the Outlaw dugout just minutes before the scheduled start time of 6:05. Not surprisingly, the game was canceled. But as I sheltered from the storm, I had the chance to talk to last week's Mid-America Pitcher of the Week, Cole Gaiman.
This is my first time playing summer ball, and it's put a lot of fun back in baseball. The fun aspect of it is making me just go out there and be confident.
That confidence has helped Gaiman become one of the most dominant pitchers in the league. In fact, he's yet to allow a run.
Just being here at Joe Becker, I grew up playing here in summer ball and everything like that growing up, so this is almost second home.
If the name Cole Gaiman sounds familiar, it's because it is. Gaiman has been playing baseball in the 4 states his whole life. First for Webb City, then Missouri Southern, now for the Outlaws.
The main thing I want them to take away is that every time I got out there, Webb City, Southern, and here, I just want them to know that I went out there and did everything I possibly could to help our team win.
Gaiman's 4 states baseball career may come to an end this summer, but his legacy won't soon be forgotten. Ben McLeish, KOAM News. In the major leagues, both of Missouri's teams are able to get in their games today. First up, the Royals take on the White Sox in Chicago. Kansas City looks to avoid getting swept by the White Sox, and it's not a good start for KC. Bottom of the first, Miguel Vargas blasts one to left field and gone. Chicago jumps to a 2-0 lead. Same score in the 4th inning until Salvador Perez gets a hold of this ball. It's way out of here and we're all tied up. That's Salvi's 5th homer on the year. In the 7th, we're still tied. Man on second, Jonathan India ropes a double down the left field line and Drew Waters comes home to score as the Royals take the 3-2 lead. They tack on a couple of more in the 8th. And in the 9th, Bobby Witt Jr. rockets this ball into the bleachers. That pads the Kansas City lead to 7 runs, and they needed them. The White Sox are down by 2 with bases loaded, but Carlos Estevez gets the batter to swing and miss at the high heat for the final out as the Royals avoid the sweep, taking down Chicago 7-5. But the Cardinals can't pull off the sweep of the Dodgers. They lose 7-3 in the series finale. Tomorrow, they welcome the Blue Jays for a 3-game series with Canada's team. Well, after a heartbreaking finish in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, the Oklahoma City Thunder respond. They take down the Pacers 123-107, leaving no room for a last-second comeback. Series is all tied up as the Finals heads to Indianapolis for Games 3 and 4.
Well, tied up OKC. How do you feel about OKC? Surprise loss right there at the end of Game 1 to the Pacers.
Yeah, they controlled that game the entire time, and somehow the Pacers they did what they've been doing all playoffs and just said, you know what, I think we're going to win this game. Tyrese Halliburton has been clutch throughout the entire playoffs. He's probably the best player in these playoffs for his clutch performances.
Absolutely.
Even though, Shai SGA just won regular season MVP. So he's going to need to step up. Chet Holmgren is going to need to step up. But today they did that, and they got the win. But now they're heading to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
You got to win at least one in Indianapolis, or it's going to be a 3-1 series lead for the Pacers.
And we talk about SGA. He put up some big numbers in Game 1 there, too. And for him to put up those big numbers, I think he had like 30 points, over 30 points in that first game. And still, I think it goes to show, especially in the major leagues, one guy can't just carry the whole team. It's got to be the whole team working together.
Of course. This Oklahoma City team is a really good foundation. It's not just him, but at the end of the day, you've got to be able to close out in the 4th quarter.
For sure.
You've got to. And that's how the Pacers have been winning these games. They shocked the Knicks. They shocked the Cavs, 2 of some of the best teams in the league, and then they shocked the Thunder, arguably the best team in the league. So anything can happen at this point. if you would coming into the playoffs, if we would have got this matchup, Thunder, Pacers, most people probably would have said Thunder easily the best team. But
Sure.
right now, it's going to be a tough series. And now they're heading to Indianapolis tied. I'm sure they would have liked to have a 2-0 lead, but that's what it stands now, and they're going to have to at least take one of those games.
For sure. And we talk about baseball a little bit here. Royals, nice not to get swept. What do you think they have to do to kind of build off momentum here?
Yeah, I mean, they just got to keep this offensive momentum going. I mean, for a lot of the season, they've just kind of been stagnant, which is surprising because last year they were such an explosive team.
Yeah.
A young team, Bobby Wood Jr., one of the biggest stars in baseball. Vinny Pasquantino, really good player. And I think those players have been doing very well this year, but as a team, they just haven't had that same firepower.
Sure.
And today they showed it. I mean, Salvador Perez hit a home run. He's a huge player for them. Bobby Wood Jr. hit a home run. And, they're going to need to keep that up. And pitching for an entire 162-game season, you need your pitching to come through for you. It almost didn't today. The bullpen almost cost them the game. They were winning by 7 runs,
right.
And the White Sox had the bases loaded. A home run would have walked off the game.
Yeah.
So that was a close one there again today too. So not exactly what you want to see, but a win is a win.
For sure.
And they just kind of have to look forward. Don't worry about losing a series against one of MLB's worst teams. You just gotta keep chugging. It's a very long season.
Yeah.
The All-Star game hasn't even happened yet. The trade deadline hasn't happened yet. They could make a bunch of acquisitions and be a much better team in a month.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
I think now's the time, the dog days of summer, that we really need to start seeing some consistent improvements from the Royals.
For sure. And I'll move on to one other sport. We're in the middle of Stanley Cup right now as well, too. You being, went to college in Florida, how do you feel about the Florida Panthers and how they're doing with the whole Stanley Cup situation right now?
Yeah, personally, I was never a huge hockey fan, but last season I had lots of friends. I was in Florida for while the Stanley Cup was going on. Lots of friends that were diehard Panthers fans. And watching a game with them and just seeing that whole energy, it really made me really fall in love with the hockey atmosphere. It's just never something that I grew up with, but it really is a fun sport. And we've got the same exact matchup as we did last year.
Sure.
The Oilers have 2 of the best players in the NHL, and the Panthers are just one of the most gritty teams in the league. 3 years in a row they've made it to the Stanley Cup, by the way. 5 years in a row, I believe, that a Florida team has made the Stanley Cup, which is crazy considering
pretty
Florida's
insane
reputation for hockey in their warmest state. So, but no, personally, I probably would pick the Panthers to win again. They just stole a game in overtime on the road in Edmonton. But I think that will be a really good series, just like it was last year. And, if you are not a big hockey fan, I recommend checking it out. It's a fun sport, and especially the Stanley Cup Finals. They're electric.
Absolutely. Well, that's our time for sports. Thanks for all that conversation, Ben. We love it. So we'll be right back. Are you going to keep it up with all this rain, or are you going to give us a break here soon?
I'm trying to give us a break. We do still have a couple more storms to get through tonight.
Sure.
So if we want to take a look at the radar, none of these are going to be severe. Our cold front's already passed, so these are all elevated storms, though they could be packing a lot of rainfall, so you might get some heavy downpours. But taking a look at our 7-day, we've got temperatures in the 80s, sunny skies all the way through Wednesday. Rain does pick back up again around Thursday all the way through Saturday. Could see some strong storms Friday night. But overall, I mean, we are just inching closer to summertime. I could not be more thrilled. After the week that we've all had with storms nearly every single night, I'm ready for summertime. I'm ready to, get those temperatures up to the hundreds. Maybe not hundreds.
No, probably not. I will say, Ben, you yourself, Ben walked into the station today. I'm going to give you a hard time. Soaking wet, like head to toe soaking wet. Yeah, he did not actually. Wow. I looked at him and I was like, there's this thing called a radar that you're supposed to pay attention to. But rain affecting your job a little bit today as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was in the dugout talking to Cole Gaiman at the Outlaws dugout in Joplin when all of a sudden it starts pouring as the interview is going on. And then it starts hailing. And then the tornado sirens start going off. I'm talking to Cole. I'm like, should I be worried? And he's like, no, we're probably fine.
That's
We're probably
that's
fine.
the Midwesterners for you
That's fair.
here, Ben.
Yeah,
So
but
welcome to the Midwest.
But I was trapped in the dugout and pretty much had to adventure out into the pouring rain to get back here.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm ready. I am ready, like you said. We talked about making sure, sunscreen and everything, but especially you definitely need sunscreen out there. But as long as you have that, I think we're ready for some warmer, dry weather.
Oh, I
think all
am
of us.
too. And earlier today, Ben was talking about the storms in the dugout. That was tornado sirens from straight line winds,
Sure.
which a lot of people don't know. Over 70-mile-per-hour winds can siren off tornado sirens as well. So that's where that was from. And it did just, it really popped up and it sat over Joplin. So, I don't necessarily blame you for
sure.
getting caught out in the rain, but you should have paid attention to
Yeah.
me.
That you're going to learn very quickly. He's only been here. We're giving a hard time to the
Couple
rookie.
months.
'cause
Couple
he's
months.
only been here
Yeah.
a couple months.
Well, they
We'll give you-
say,
can't really do anything.
they say rain or shine, you have to always be ready for what goes on in the diamond.
Sure.
So they could have played through hail. We don't know.
No, absolutely. I think that would have been a very
I
entertaining.
wonder, though, if the winds would be the more
Yeah.
thing that affects
Yeah, I think
the
I think the pitch, as soon as
Yeah.
he pitches the ball's gonna
already
yeah.
off. Yeah, already
It's gonna
out of
look
bounds.
like your golf swing. No offense, but no. Sorry,
I
I
can't catch a
chose.
break.
It's really, I'm ripping on you today. I apologize, but hey, it's been a great weekend, and shout out to you, Ben. I gave her a shout out earlier, but I'm gonna shout you out again. When Lindsay is held down along with Chris, yes, give him his credit where credit's due, but you stepping in as Doug's on vacation because he gets those for whatever reason. But while Doug's been states 1,000 miles away, you've been holding down the fort. So really great job
Well,
this
thank
past
you.
week.
I appreciate
So
it. Yeah, a
you
lot of
deserve
long
it.
nights, a lot of early mornings. But
For sure.
hey, the weather never sleeps. So.
The weather never sleeps, unlike sports. So, but anyway,
Hey, there's always a sport somewhere.
that's
There's
fair.
probably in the middle of the night. There's probably ping pong in Korea. I'm telling you.
Okay.
All right, well,
works.
we're going to stay up and watch ping pong later today.
you go.
That's been our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're right back here next weekend. Have a great night.